Echo. Problem of the day, education. The U.S. spends near the most per capita on education in the world, yet our scores among developed nations are near bottom. And despite much education spending for a half-century having been reallocated to low-achieving kids, the achievement gap is as wide as ever. By the way, I have links to the basis for these assertions, the research, on the text version of this on medium.com. Anyway, this bodes to be an ever more serious problem as more jobs require high cognitive competence and fewer low cognitive jobs will be available because of automation and AI. Reinventing education. The following could be transformational. Artificial intelligence and machine learning, TEDdy. Teachers give each child an artificial intelligence-based teddy bear with a built-in belly screen that presents lessons taught by world-class instructors with quizzes after each one, and machine learning adjusting level, pace, and teaching style based on the student's performance on each quiz. Of course, TEDdy would be available in multiple languages, and records would be automatically kept, making report cards easy. If a student is having a problem that's better addressed by a human, a live teacher would be signaled. And live teachers would continue to provide emotional support. Some live teacher taught interactive lessons, classroom management, and so on. Of course, TEDdy's providing high-quality, individualized lessons could mean need for fewer teachers, major savings to the taxpayer, given the surprisingly high teacher salaries. National average, $72,000, $101,000 in my state of California. Full benefits, including an average of 90% of health care insurance. No tenure. Some teachers are okay for the 2 to 3 years until tenure, but some later burn out. Yet tenure protects all but the worst, forever. If, as everyone asserts, education is important, teachers should, like most other professions, have a job only as long as they're doing it reasonably well. After all, could anyone reasonably assert that doctors, lawyers, accountants, even hairdressers get lifetime tenure after just 2 or 3 years? High-value curriculum. Could anyone other than ivory tower professors who heavily guide what's in the K-12 curriculum assert that quadratic equations are more important than financial literacy? That studying the Peloponnesian Wars is more important than role-playing common conflict situations? That knowing chemical stochastic properties is more important than the biology of staying healthy? That deciphering Shakespeare is more important than critical thinking? That art history exploration is more important than career exploration? Macroeconomic theory more important than the art and science of starting a business, which is the most durable creator of jobs? And what about new topics, like using AI as a thought and work partner, not just an answer giver? First things should be first, what every person needs to thrive. To demand academia-centric curriculum is hypocrisy. The professoriate tends to decry elitism, yet push K-12 curriculum filled with elite nice-to-knows over essentials that every student should start life with. Ability grouping. One of learning's most potent axioms is that learning increases when instruction is appropriately leveled, yet educators and policymakers chose to severely reduce that in favor of, let's just say, other factors, in replacing ability group classes with the now ubiquitous mixed ability classes, especially K-8. Imagine that you wanted to start learning Mandarin and had two choices, a class with fellow beginners, the other class filled with beginner, intermediate, advanced, and native speakers of Mandarin. Wouldn't you learn more and be less frustrated in the former? Politics should not trump pedagogy, so ability grouped classes should be the norm. The benefits of cross-level interaction can be accrued by having art, music, PE, and of course recess and lunch be mixed ability, thereby providing the human student-to-student interaction across cultures and across ability levels that TEDdy can't provide. What about low achievers and students from low-income backgrounds? Especially with TEDdy, they're more likely than in the status quo to get not just appropriate level of instruction, but avoid being embarrassed that they learn slowly. Any perceived stigma of being in a lower level class is small tax compared with the far greater learning and pleasures likely to accrue. Why this reinvention might not work. Pushback would likely come from powerful forces. The teachers' union's job one is to protect teacher jobs. TEDdy would threaten them, even if used as a teacher adjunct or just for homework. It would soon become clear that the number of teachers is vulnerable to reduction. The professoriate would incorrectly but fervently assert that the high-value curriculum lowers standards. No, it adjusts standards to first things first. Millions of students graduate high school able to calculate that quadratic equation but not know how much change to expect when paying for a bag of apples with a $10 bill, let alone develop a sound budget, or avoid getting ripped off by unscrupulous in-person telemarketing and online pitches. Quadratic equations and so on are less essential for life. For students who want or need such technical tools, for example, some scientists, engineers, and mathematicians, they could be available as electives, or certainly in college. We place much faith in education, but per the above, it has long failed to meet our hopes, perhaps understandably. Many other factors affect what make people thrive, notably parents, peers, and the media. If the proposed reinvention did not incontrovertibly improve results, the aforementioned powers would likely continue to fight it. But the perfect is the enemy of the good. The standard shouldn't be perfection, but substantive improvement over the status quo, and with that as the metric, the answer seems clear. What do you like and not like about this plan? In any event, that's problem of the day, education. As usual, I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel, and certainly would welcome you taking a look at any of my 36 books. Perhaps most relevant to this is Thought Experiments, but all 36 are on Amazon. In any event, I thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.